Carolina Panthers football is being brought to you by Panthers Check-In, only from Bank of America. By Pepsi, born here, raised by Panther fans everywhere. By Autobell. Autobell is the car wash provider of the Carolina Panthers. By Bojangles, your official tailgating headquarters of the Carolina Panthers. It's Bo time. By Sacrete. No matter what projects are in your lineup, Sacrete has the right concrete and masonry products for the job. Use what the pros use. Ask for Sacrete at your local home improvement store. And by Bud Light. It's the sure sign of a good time. Here we go.
You gotta know what we're about, man. We're gonna dominate. It starts now. This season starts right now. Not in 4 weeks, right now. Yep. We gotta get going every time we step on the field. Know what we're about to do. Let's go. Dominate on three. 1, 2, 3, dominate.
Panthers fired up, and so are we. Mike Morgan, Mike Ruckert with you. And time now for the Gatorade Heard Around the Core report with the third member of our broadcast team. It's Pete Yannity.
Mike, you ought to see Ron Rivera's face light up when he talks about his defensive front four. No, mainly because he's got one of the better pair of bookends in this league. A year ago, Charles Johnson and Greg Hardy combined for 23.5 sacks. They're among the top 5 in the league as a combo. You add in the return of veteran Dwan Edwards, who had 6 sacks last year, plus the top 2 draft picks, Star Lotulelei and also Kawan Short. And there's reason for the front four excitement on this Panthers team. You could make the argument that this group has the potential to be as good as the front four of the Panthers from about a decade ago. That group, of course, included a defensive end named Mike Ruckert.
Yeah, I think I've heard of that guy.
Well, I definitely agree that they have they're a great start, and they are a great defensive line, and they're only going to get stronger, especially with these 2 young guys that they drafted this year.
That's part of the optimism about this season, coming off a 7-9 campaign. Again, the team won 5 out of the last 6 ball games. One of the areas that certainly could use some improvement would be the return game. We'll get our chance to see the first return of the year. The Panthers winning the toss, electing to receive the kickoff. There you see a look at Kealoha Polares, now in his 3rd year out of the University of Hawaii. Robbie Gould is the kicker for the Bears, one of the best in the league. Fires one into the end zone. It'll be taken out 5 yards deep. It's Polaris changing direction at the 10 and finally knocked backwards at about the 12-yard line as we check in with our North Carolina Lottery keys to the game. Mike?
Well, the first is filling the hole for this Bears defense. You're losing your 13-year veteran in Brian Urlacher. Who's going to step up, whether it's by play or vocally? And for the Carolina Panthers, it's the front 7. They got to bring pressure. It's a strong point from last year. They need to take a little bit of pressure off this shuffled secondary from last year.
Presented by North Carolina Education Lottery. Tonight could be your day with the Carolina Cash 5. Jackpot starts at $50,000 and grows bigger fast. Cam Newton, 13-19 as a starter, getting ready for his 3rd season. He believes he has learned a lot from those first 2 years, not just physically, but mentally. Wants to be a bigger leader in 2013. Williams, the lone back. Newton feeds him. Williams finding some daylight between the tackles. Scampers for about 5. Let's take a look now at the Miller starting lineups for the Carolina Panthers. Familiar names for the most part. Williams. Brandon LaFell really came on last season. Steve Smith, of course. Olsen, a guy that has quickly become a favorite target of Cam Newton. The offensive line led by Gross and Khalil, the Pro Bowlers. Silatolu now in his 2nd season out of Midwestern State. Hartsock in at tight end. D'Angelo Williams is the deep back. Quick pass, knocked away, incomplete, intended for Steve Smith. Good coverage on the play by Charles Tillman. That's a very talented Bears defense. How about 9 defensive touchdowns last year? No Julius Peppers tonight. Terrific linebacking core. And they picked up a former Panther, James Anderson. His 8th year now out of Virginia Tech. You just saw Tillman breaking up that pass. Jennings coming off his first ever Pro Bowl. Very dangerous and opportunistic defense. Bears were plus 20 in turnover margin last season. 3rd down and 4. With time over the middle, it's caught, and that'll be a first down. Move the chains. Number 89, Steve Smith on the catch, 15 yards and a first down.
You know, Cam had a lot of time, great blocking by the offensive line. He's poised in the pocket. It's just a pitch and catch with one of the best receivers on this team, Steve Smith. And if you want to get Steve Smith happy, get him the ball early.
Already been targeted twice here on this opening drive for the Panthers. 3 wide set on first down. Bears dialing up the blitz. It's Williams bouncing outside and is able to pick up a good 5 yards. Major Wright finally trips him up. Nice job by DeAngelo Williams.
You know, this is where DeAngelo works best. You just give him the ball, he knows where he's going to get the ball, and he's going to do a little dance and a bounce to the outside. He can use his speed, he's got great vision, and that's what makes him a really good running back, is he's patient.
DeAngelo sometimes is kind of a forgotten guy. There's so many people that can carry the football now for the Panthers, including Cam Newton, who led the team in rushing. First NFL quarterback to do that since Donovan McNabb in 2000. On second down, nothing doing. Williams dropped in the backfield for a loss. Knifing in quickly was 93, Nate Collins.
Well, this is something we talked about, this Bears defense. They've always been good, just knifing through, maybe a missed block right there. But this is a good defense. You know, they've had a lot of takeaways last year, so this is a good measuring stick. Even though it's a couple series, this would be a good measuring stick for the first go-around.
Another 3rd down conversion opportunity here for the Panthers. You see in 2012, 43.1%. Blitz coming. Newton cocks and fires, and it's knocked away. Intended for Greg Olsen. Tim Jennings got his paw on it, and the Panthers will have to punt it away. Nortman on the punt. Josh Lenz, the rookie out of Iowa State, back to receive it. Good looking punt. Lenz from the 16. Finally knocked down at the 26-yard line. A 50-yard punt, a 5-yard return. We'll see the Bears opening drive when we return from Charlotte.
What's up, young man? What's up, Coach? Oh, I hope you're not returning. No. Good, I'm glad to hear that. Trying to make my day easy, huh? Is that what you're doing? We don't have to roll the coverage this time. Let's go. Some good reps. Here we go. Oh, here we go again. I'm with you. Strong.
A chatty Ron Rivera before the game today during warm-ups. Warm-ups, a guy who's certainly familiar with some of the guys on the Bears sideline. We'll actually hear more from Ron throughout the game. We've got him mic'd up today. Appreciate Coach Rivera letting us kind of sneak peek and listen into what is going on the sideline for the Panthers tonight. First pass is picked off at the 25. Daylight. And finally knocked down Josh Norman, second-year man out of Coastal Carolina.
You talk about a big play. This is how you start fast. When coaches talk about, hey, from defense, we need to start fast. Josh Norman does a great job on breaking on the ball and watching the ball all the way through. He fumbles a little bit, but eye control, he gets it and gets a couple yards. This is how you start a game. This is how you get your offense in scoring position.
The pass was intended for Alshon Jeffrey, but Norman jumps the route, makes the play, and the Panthers are in business in the red zone. Newton looks to throw. End zone, knocked down, and there's the penalty flag. Intended for Greg Olsen, got tied up with James Anderson, the former Panther. Our referee tonight is Cleet Blakeman.
Pass interference, defense, number 50. The ball he placed at the spot of the foul. First down, Carolina.
Greg Olsen right here down at the bottom of your screen. He's just going to go up, give a little nod to the outside, and then bend towards the inside. There's different ways of being able to get the ball down the field, and a pass interference will work.
Olsen last year, 69 receptions. That's a new Panther tight end record. Surpassed one Wesley Walls, who caught 63 in a season. First down and goal. Handoff, Williams pushing the pile and gets down inside the 1. Good push by that Panther offensive line. As we look at the CPI security systems red zone stats from a year ago, the Panthers 9th in the NFL in touchdown percentage, and that's what you want here, Ruck. You don't want 3, you got to come away with 6.
There's a lot of stats being thrown at you all the time. The red zone, are you getting points or are you not getting points, is one key for any coach. And when you're down here, you want to punch it in for 6.
Williams tries to do it, can't. Torpedoing through the line. That's Kasim Green, a very highly touted rookie linebacker out of Rutgers. He's a 2-time Big East Defensive Player of the Year. Looked like he almost came in untouched. Steve Smith enters the ball game for the Panthers. A loss of 2 on the play. It's now 3rd and goal. Will stay in the game as the lone back. And Newton does not like what he sees. He'll call timeout.
Come on, pick up our rhythm. Let's go.
And we will take it with him. A 3rd down and goal upcoming. And we'll keep it here. Well, this is a key spot, Bruck. Preseason, regular season, you want to take advantage of these opportunities. The Panthers at times were stymied in short yardage situations. You've got one of the best guys in this spot, Mike Tolbert, a big bruising fullback who actually accounted for 7 rushing touchdowns last year, almost all of them from 1 yard.
Well, I think you got a lot of options down here. You got a big quarterback that you can do some things with. You got a stable of different running backs. So I think down here they have some options. In training camp, you don't get to practice goal line a whole lot, especially live. So this is a great opportunity for them to try to work some of their goal line plays.
Three wide set on 3rd and goal. Newton surveys, fires, caught, touchdown, Panthers! Brandon LaFell. LaFell really came into his own last year, 44 catches, 4 touchdowns. The Panthers have themselves a number 2 receiver.
Well, LaFell just drags across the formation and can't just wait till he gets open. He's wide open. For a number of years now, we said, who's going to be the number 2 receiver? Well, I tell you what, I think we found a good one right here in LaFell.
Ram Gano on for the extra point. Gano hammers it home. Another look at the first score of the game. Newton waits for LaFell, fires it. Panthers on the board. 7-0 our score. Back after a very happy Brandon LaFell and a very happy Panthers offense. As we look at the Belk scoring drive, 3 plays, 18 yards, a minute 32 off the clock, all set up by the Josh Norman INT. As we check in with Pete Hannity.
Josh Norman, as a rookie last year, started 12 of 16 games, but he obviously was motivated by the fact the team went out and signed 2 veteran cornerbacks with a combined 14 years of experience, Drayton Florence and DJ Moore. So there's an early sign that Norman is ready to go here in 2013. He must have a pretty good read on Jay Cutler. His lone interception a year ago came against the Bears QB.
This is Hester just inside the end line. One of the all-time dangerous return men in NFL history is knocked down shy of the 15-yard line. .10:03 to play, first quarter. Panthers 7 and the Bears nothing. 10:03 to play in the first quarter here from Charlotte. It's the Panthers 7 and the Bears nothing. While we were away, Michael Zordich, the injured player, down on the ground, the rookie fullback out of Penn State.
See him right there, 39 in the middle. Gets dinged up. It's good to see him that he walked off the field, and it doesn't look like it's as serious as when he was rolling down there a little bit.
Zordich, whose father actually played defensive back in the National Football League, as Cutler hits Alshon Jeffrey, the second-year man out of South Carolina, and that'll move the chains. 13 yards on the pickup. Jeffrey's a guy who they really have high hopes to become that number 2. Brandon Marshall is the alpha dog. That wide receiving core, much like Steve Smith for the Panthers, they're just trying to find another guy, keep that secondary honest, and that could be the man, number 17. To the ground, nothing doing. Bunch of white jerseys in the mix there. Take your pick. See Greg Hardy getting fired up. A couple of offensive linemen for the Bears. Hardy coming off a career year, 11 sacks last season.
Well, as a defensive line, you got to set the line of scrimmage, and guess who? Luke Kuechly, number 59. We talked about him in the open. He's everywhere. If you lose him, he's always around the football.
Kuechly, the NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year, 164 tackles. Cutler swings it out on second and long, and they'll get a few yards. Matt Forte on the catch. Kuechly with another tackle as we look at the starting lineup for the Chicago Bears on offense. Forte. Of course, Brandon Marshall missing from this group. Fiametta, former Carolina Panther at fullback. The offensive line, that's the weak spot coming in. It really was one of the worst lines in football last year. They used a first-round pick on a lineman. I believe that they've really improved it this season. Third down and 6. Panthers rushing 4. Cutler flushed out and will throw it away. Great coverage, nobody open at all, and Greg Hardy was breathing down the neck. I think it's Charles Johnson breathing down the neck of Jay Cutler.
Yeah, Hardy, number 76, bringing the pressure. Secondary doing a great job of holding up and letting his fellow defensive linemen get after him. The secondary disguised well, played a cover 2. Cutler had nowhere to go.
It's a great replay because you got to see the two guys that led the way on the line last year, Hardy and Johnson, both causing havoc for Jay Cutler on that play. Backpedaling and fielding it at the 16. This is Joe Adams, the former Razorback. Adams cuts back at the 35 and dances his way to the 39-yard line. He was one of the top return men in college football a couple of years back. Had some injuries last season. Looking good on that return. 33 yards.
Well, this is one of the reasons why they brought in and drafted Joe Adams last year. He got a chance, made the first guy miss. That's on the receiver. You got a great block over here by one of your guys over there laying a guy out, and now it's all up to Joe Adams to make somebody miss and get some extra yards.
That's a great sign for this team to get some better returns, kickoff, punt returns. And Adams could be one of the guys that can fill that void that's been there really the last few years. Torin Poole, the lone back for Newton. quickly throws it, caught at the 40, and escorted out of bounds. That's the backup tight end, Ben Hartzog. He won't catch many. He's mainly in there to block. 10th-year man out of Ohio State. Greg Olsen will dominate receptions by the tight ends for this team.
But the thing, Mike, is that, all these guys can catch the ball. He might be in there for blocking, but all of these tight ends have great hands. And I think that's a great asset for this offense.
Second down, call it 7. Newton still in the game under center. Feeds Poole. And Poole will gobble up some yards on the right side before brought down by the rookie linebacker Jonathan Bostic.
It's one thing that I noticed. You haven't seen a lot of read option. They are letting these running backs get the ball, coming out of the huddle. They know they're getting the ball. So they already know in their mind what they want to do and how they want to set their run up. And I think this has really got this offense going. It's really involving the running backs early in the game.
3rd down and 2. Saw first look at Ted Ginn racing onto the field. He'll be at the top of your screen. Olsen in motion. Newton looking and picked off near midfield. That is Bostic, the rookie. Bostic's got a convoy, and Bostic will find the end zone. The rookie out of the University of Florida read that one all the way and returns it 51 yards.
A little bit of pressure from this Bears defensive line. Cam just locked onto his guy, and the linebacker just read him all the way, and it was an easy little pick for him, pick 6. We talked about it earlier in the game. This Bears defense is known for getting turnovers and putting it in the end zone. Again, trying to get to Olsen, as you see on this replay. He just undercut him.
Hold on for the extra point for Chicago. And just like that, we are tied. Cam Newton and Greg Olsen became a good combination last season. The Bears reading at that time. Back after a word. Cam Newton talking things over with the backup quarterback, Jimmy Clausen, about what happened on that last play. And as you pointed out, Ruck, just simply a case of a guy undercutting the route.
Yeah, he wanted to go to Greg Olsen, and he was there, and the linebacker just watched his eyes and cut underneath.
Might be the last time we see Cam tonight. Most of the starters expected to play 10 to 15 snaps. Most teams don't do it by quarters anymore. It's all about snaps, so don't be surprised if we see Derek Anderson out onto the field for that next drive. Smith and Polaris back to receive the kickoff from Robbie Gould. It'll be Smith. And torpedoes into the line. Knocked down at the 20-yard line, and we'll take a timeout. Panthers led by Derek Anderson when we return. 7-7 game here in the first quarter, 6:03 to play. As we check in with our Krispy Kreme sweet tweets. We'll be looking at these throughout our preseason schedule. From Sarah Bear, 59, I'm all the way in Texas and still cheering for my Panthers tonight. And there's more. Nothing sweeter than football being back in the Great Carolinas. It is sweet to have football back, preseason or otherwise, just to have somebody else to hit other than the guys in your own uniform. I think everybody, to a man, was so excited to break away from training camp and actually play against somebody. To see Derek Anderson in at quarterback. Cam Newton, 12 snaps. How did he do, Ruck?
Well, they started off fast. Getting Steve Smith involved early on. And that's a good thing. And then you got to get Greg Olsen down in the end zone, getting him involved early on, and then you throw that interception. I know Cam doesn't want to end on that note, but there were some positive things to take away from his outing tonight.
We'll see some more of Cam about 6 days from now in Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love, and the Panthers take on the Eagles. Second down and 11. It's Anderson looking to throw. Over the middle, leaping catch at the 35 and down to the 40, and that is Armani Edwards, once again, one of the most talked about players in training camp for the Panthers. He's got 21 yards and a first down.
You know, he's a guy that we've been talking about for the last couple of years, and he's wide open, great catch. If you go down to training camp, a lot of buzz is about Armani Edwards. He's catching a lot of balls, and he's catching a lot of balls in the end zone. And that's a great start for Armani Edwards.
Edwards now in his 4th year out of Appalachian State. Selected in the 3rd round. On first down, to the ground. Lowering the shoulder and being pushed back after a pickup of about 3. As we check in tonight with our Belk Player Watch, which will focus on one Armani Edwards. Last year, 5 catches, 121 yards. I think the question, Ruck, about Armani is he at the point yet where he's comfortable playing the wideout position? And if he's not now, will it ever happen?
Well, you got to think, it's a quarterback moving a position in the professional league. And that's not easy to do. And I think now he's starting to come into his own.
On 2nd and 7. Back to the ground game. And a pickup of a couple as we check in with Ron Rivera talking about one Armani Edwards.
But then the guy that's really had a really good offseason and a good training camp so far is Armani Edwards. So we got our fingers crossed that, once we start hitting and playing the games, the practice games, the preseason games, we'll get a chance to see exactly if Armani has arrived.
And I think one of the things that's really helped Armani Edwards is Ricky Proehl. He's played the receiver. He's the new wide receivers coach. And you talk about a technician you want to learn, that's a good guy to learn from.
This is 3rd and 4. The Bears rushing for an on-time. The throw is off the mark. Looked like Ted Ginn was wide open. Anderson wants to have that one back.
There's Ricky Proehl right there. He's one of the best in the business. You want to know when you're supposed to plant your foot, when you need to push off, different techniques of blocking. He's the guy you want to learn from, and I think Armani Edwards is really going to benefit from his coaching.
We should bring up, while we're talking about receivers, Dominic Hickson, the New York Giant, not playing tonight. He's been banged up, but that's a guy who is also very much in the running for that number 3 wide receiver spot. Hester will watch this one bounce inside the 5 and into the end zone as the Bears will take over 1st and 10 from the 20 to 54-yard punt from Nordman. No return. Luke Kuechly back out onto the field. I mentioned the stat, 164 tackles. That led the league. Every team actually provides their own personal stats after looking at tape. The Panthers actually had him down for 205 tackles unofficially, but you see, he led the league as a rookie, which is something that is nearly impossible to do. I don't think you could ask any more out of number 59 in year number 1.
Well, I would think he would be more than that. It seems like he's making every tackle.
Maybe he'll go for 250 this year. Cutler dancing, firing, and completing the pass to number 29. That's Michael Bush, his 7th year back out of the University of Louisville. Drayton Florence on the stop for the Panthers. Gain of 13. And there's Kuechly working the middle. Quick slant, caught. And finally game tackled right around the marker. 19 Joe Anderson on the grab. A busy weekend in the NFL. A lot of the worst teams, in fact, the worst 5 teams in the NFL are playing tonight, including the Jets, including the Eagles, tied with New England, including the Jaguars, trailing Miami. Arizona leading Green Bay in the first quarter. Houston and Minnesota tied at 3. Kansas City, the worst team, leading New Orleans 10-0. A new era. Coach Andy Reid now in KC. Cutler swallowed up and brought down for a loss. About 3 white jerseys. One of the first ones in was that man, number 95, Charles Johnson.
Well, it just seems like he just picked up where he left off last year. His defensive line has been very effective today. And you can see the pressure that Charles it's just bull. It's just a bull rush. Just get off your block and get to the quarterback. Defensive line is really applying pressure, and that's what we said in the open. The front 7 have to apply the pressure to free up their secondary.
And we see Sean McDermott, the defensive coordinator. He loves those sacks. 39 of them last year. 37 from the defensive line. Cutler completes the pass. That will take the Bears a little bit closer to the original line of scrimmage. Michael Bush on the reception. That'll be 3rd down and long.
Well, 93 right here, Chase Blackburn. He's just going to read. This is just a screen. When your defensive line gets after the quarterback, you try to slow him down. He just eyes his guy, and he runs to it, splits the block, and makes the tackle.
Blackburn's, that's a name that maybe is not getting a ton of attention, but probably should. Longtime New York Giant, member of 2 Super Bowl teams, had a great year last year, nearly 100 tackles. Weems on the reception. The 7th-year man of the Bethune-Cookman, but shy of the marker.
What this defense is going to have to get used to, when you get pressure like that, you're going to see a lot more screens, you're going to see a lot of quick slants, and they're going to have to get used to that quick ball.
It will be 4th and 2, and we return. First quarter of this 2013 preseason is in the books. We're tied. Bears 7, Panthers 7. Mike Morgan, Mike Rucker, along with Pete Yannity, patrolling the sidelines here at Bank of America Stadium. Start of the second quarter, 7-7 our score. First quarter stats brought to you by the Bank of America. Total plays, Panthers 17, the Bears 10. Yardage about even, mostly everything even. The big play really for each side forcing a turnover, which in each case led to 7 points for the opposing side. Adams back to receive it. A fair catch inside the 10. And a penalty flag on the field. A pretty clean game thus far, which is unusual for the first game of the preseason.
During the kick, holding, receiving team number 24. Penalties half the distance to the goal line. First down, Carolina.
That's on Josh Norman, who made the play of the game defensively with that interception earlier. Let's check in with Pete Yannity.
Well, Mike, earlier we saw Armani Edwards make that grab, and to add to kind of what you guys were saying about him, I thought a really interesting comment came from the offensive coordinator, Mike Shula. He said that it's not that the light wasn't going on with Edwards, but now it's brighter throughout the spring and throughout training camp. He's just playing stronger, playing with more confidence. And Ron Rivera made a point that Armani's already lived up to in this game. He says he's been doing a much better job catching the ball in traffic. That reception had 3 defenders within just a few yards of him.
That's a good point, Pete. That's certainly a sign of progress for Armani Edwards. Every one of these games huge for a guy like Armani. Panthers going to the ground on first down, and a nice scamper for 11 yards. That's a first down for 33. Torrin Poole, the former Tennessee Volunteer.
Again, one of the backs in this stable. Just a nice move. He gets in the open. He knows he's getting the football. He makes a move and he gets downfield. There's not a lot of shaking and baking. He's getting downfield, getting some positive yards.
On first down, it'll be Poole again, trying to go off right tackle and chased out of bounds by Jonathan Bostic. Derek Anderson, sometimes you take the backup quarterback for granted. they really haven't needed Derek a whole lot. Cam Newton has started every game in his first 2 years, but this is one of the better backups in the league.
Well, part of being a backup is like when your number's called, does the coach trust you? And he's a guy, he's a veteran, he's been around, he knows his role in this offense. And when his number is called in the last couple of preseason games, the last couple of years, he has done a great job. So you can count on this guy if his number should be called.
Derek Anderson, who actually made a Pro Bowl as a starter with the Cleveland Browns, fires this one in traffic, and that was nearly picked off. That could have been the second pick six of the game as 31 Isaiah Fly had it zeroed in.
Sometimes on throws like this, you don't know if the quarterback ran the wrong route or if it was a timing issue, but that could have nearly been picked off and been six the other way.
Intended for Ted Ginn, when they're trying to get into the flow of this offense. I believe Ted Ginn has been in the NFL now 7 years. Time flies. I mean, like just yesterday, he was playing in the national championship game from Ohio State. 3rd and long. Anderson under pressure, delivers a strike to Edwards, and that'll be a first down. 18 yards. Great job by Anderson taking the hit on the throw, and a nice job by Armani getting open.
Well, it's definitely this Chicago Bears defense. They like to bring pressure, and that's what they do. We talk about Derek Anderson. What makes him great? He stands in there and stays in the pocket and delivers this big throw. Gets shaken up a little bit, but he's back into the game. It looks like he took a helmet right in that chest. Dinged up a little bit.
From the 29. Anderson throws that one long. Ted Ginn was the only guy in the area. Moment on the coverage for Chicago. Like every year we're talking about the Panthers wide receiving core. We know about Steve Smith. We don't have to get into his credentials. I think now we know Brandon LaFell is finally that number 2. But you want to talk about a battle, number 3, number 4. I mean, it's really up for grabs.
Well, it's going to depend on special teams. You know, who can be a backup, and who can be that special teams guy, and who also can contribute to the receiving core.
4 in the pattern on 2nd down. Anderson lobs one and caught at the 45. That's Adams. Tap dancing his way to the 46-yard line. A bigger part, that's Ted Ginn. Great job by Derek Anderson, just kind of lofting that one in there. Green on the tackle for the Bears, but there is Ted Ginn.
Well, I think it's no secret. They know, everybody knows in the National Football League, he has speed. Can he catch the ball? It's been the knock. He shows you that he can catch the ball and hold on to the ball. But if they can get him involved and they can use that speed, that could really be dangerous for this receiving core.
Ginn has said, you know, he's playing with a little bit of a chip on his shoulder this year. He believes he's got something to prove. He can still play wide receiver in the NFL. Penalty flag on the field, picked off at the 40. That's Bowman. 2nd turnover of the game. The flag is all the way back in the backfield near the 40-yard line.
Personal foul, grabbing the face mask. Offense, number 77. That foul will be assessed on the dead ball spot. The Chicago Bears keep the ball, first down.
So it will be another turnover. First the pick from Cam. Now here's one from Anderson. The foul on Byron Bell, the right tackle. It'll be Bears football when we return. Back after a word from your local Panthers State. 11:48 remaining in the first half. Tie ball game 7-7 as we check in with our Krispy Kreme sweet tweets from Braves John. I've waited for 7 months for tonight. Let's go Panthers. We're all with you on that one, John. And from the ASU appraiser, can Armani Edwards keep the 3rd receiver spot, or will Hickson or Ginn take it? Ruck, I'm going to serve that one up to you.
Yeah, I think it's going to come down to special teams. You know, who can give, on both sides of the ball.
Deep ball on the way from McCown, and it's incomplete. Josh McCown a journeyman backup for several teams, including the Carolina Panthers a couple of years ago. But going back to that spot, I think what's encouraging from the Panthers side, you've got some pretty good guys battling. You know, every player, once you start getting that third, fourth string, you can find some flaws in the overall game. But those are some pretty good guys battling for backup spots, essentially.
Well, I think that you look at who's improving. You know, who started camp and who's improving throughout camp. And obviously, Ted Ginn's got some speed. He can be used in the return game. But Amani Edwards is taking those steps in his growth process.
McCown again, Coxon fires and completes it at the 25-yard line to Anderson. And it took a while to completely wrestle him to the ground. James Dockery in on the stop for the Panthers as we say hello again to Pete Anthony.
Mike, one of the defensive backs we've seen out there in this series is another of the veterans that Carolina signed during the offseason. Mike Mitchell, now getting ready for his 5th year in the NFL. He was a backup in Oakland. Says one of the reasons he signed with the Panthers, he wanted to fight for a starting job. He was first on the depth chart coming into the game, and now the defensive coordinator for the Panthers describes him simply as nasty. I think that says it all about his style of play.
Now, this defense probably could use a little bit of nastiness. Nothing wrong with that at all. He started 2 games last year for the Raiders, spent 4 years there, played his college ball at Ohio University, and he's in pretty good shape for one of those starting safety spots.
Well, I think that safety position, when you're a team that you want to stop the run and be physical, you have to have a back end that's physical too. And so bringing him in with that kind of nature is going to fit this type of style of defense.
On 2nd down and 7. Over the middle, into double coverage and knocked away, incomplete. We talked about the defensive improvement really starting at the top. Last year, this defense was ranked 10th in the National Football League in total yards. The points were down, the yards were down, rushing, passing, pretty much every category you can think of, Ruck. How much, beyond just the stats, how much from your naked eye was it truly improved?
Well, I think they really have improved. And Sean McDermott, the defensive coordinator, when you talk to him, you can feel his fingerprint, you can feel his energy that this defense is taking on.
3rd and 7, incomplete, no penalty, there it is, a late penalty flag. James Dockery got an arm in early. I thought maybe initially that they didn't see it.
There is no foul on the play. The field is incomplete.
And now they wave it off. Hey, you don't see that very often.
Well, the flag was a little bit late. I mean, obviously it looks like there's some contact going on, but the ball was in the air. Late flag, but the refs, they talked about it and they made the right call.
CPI Security Systems red zone numbers for the Bears. This was a problem for Chicago last year. They did not cash in on several opportunities. 22nd in the NFL in touchdown percentage. And he'll have to settle for 3 here. This will be from 35. Robbie Gould, one of the most accurate kickers in the NFL. And even with a high snap, he's plenty accurate here. So the Bears take their first lead of the night. 10:15 to play first half. 10-7 our score.
Let's go. Let's set the tempo, man. Let's go, Cam. Let's go now, man. Let's go. Pick it up. It's the way to run, D'Angelo. We got to pick up your rhythm. Come on. We got to pick up our rhythm. Let's go.
Ron Rivera very animated on the sideline tonight. It is week 1 of the preseason, but you know, Ruck, as a former player, this is really where it all starts. You don't want to go into week 1 of the regular season kind of slacking. There's been a lot talked about, are the Panthers being physical enough in practice, whatnot. They have certainly brought plenty of energy so far here tonight. On the return, banging his way to the 15-yard line, that's Armon Smith.
And you're exactly right. I mean, you're looking for guys in a quick start and doing something different that hasn't you haven't done in the past, and that's starting fast with a quick tempo. And I think that's what we've seen tonight is this Panthers on offense, defense, and special teams so far having a spark, showing a tempo, and I think that's a good start.
And when people talk about the importance or lack thereof sometimes of preseason games, and the score isn't necessarily the most important thing, but you certainly want to look good. You want to look sharp. You want to see your rookies playing well, your veterans getting in tune with one another. And that all starts here tonight. Speaking of rookies, Kenyon Barner, the rookie out of Oregon, in the backfield for the first time. Catch the pass here at the 15 and fumbles the football, and Chicago has it. Well, that's not a good way to make the squad.
That's unfortunate because that's one of the things that they brought him for is to get him the ball in the air and to get him out in open space and let him use his speed and agility. And you got to hang on to the football. It's just a simple screen, which he's done probably a million times. He's getting downfield. You got great blocking by your offensive lineman. You got to hang on to the ball. You got to secure it. And with Skip, the running backs coach, I guarantee he's going to hear an earful from Coach Skip.
And Sherrick McManus, who stripped it and then recovered it. And again, you got to know that there's got to be some nerves going through Kenyon Barner there. It's one thing to run that play in practice. He's doing it under the lights for the first time in the NFL. Better plays ahead, I'm sure, for Kenyon Barner. Meanwhile, that's 3 turnovers in the first half for the Panthers.
But to your point, Mike, as a running back, that is the basic is all basic. You got to protect the ball. You know, if you don't miss a block or something like that, that's one thing. But as a running back, you have to protect the ball.
I was a little surprised watching the draft that Kenyon Barner actually slipped to the 6th round. He was a dynamic running back in college at Oregon. One of the top running backs in the nation really for a couple of years. Bears running it on 2nd down. Staggering forward for the first down is Armando Allen, the second-year man out of Notre Dame. CPI Security Systems red zone stats for the Panthers defensively, 17th in the NFL. Certainly can tighten that up a little bit this year.
Yeah, they're middle of the pack. They can definitely tighten it up, bring that closer to the top third. You know, obviously you got to work on that, and there's some room for improvement on that.
I think a lot of those numbers, quite frankly, the Panthers last year playing shorthanded were gassed in the 4th quarter of a lot of games. Teams running right up the gut. Not much there on 1st down. Of course, the Panthers did something about it in the draft, Rug, drafting 2 defensive tackles early. We haven't talked much about them. We'll get to them both tonight, later on through these preseason games. Star Lotulelei out of Utah and Kawan Short out of Purdue. 2 guys that were impact difference maker type players in college. A lot of people thought Lotulelei out of Utah was going to be the #1 overall pick. That's how highly touted he was.
And I think they were licking their chops once they saw that he was still sitting there.
Kind of in the middle of the 1st round. 2nd and long. Corner route, wide open, and dropped it. Oh, goodness. It was a tight end. Ottelbun by way of the University of Houston. The route was there, the throw was there, the hands were not.
Well, the Panther defense, they caught a break on that one. Just outmatched right there as he's coming across the screen. He just used his hands, and the linebacker, he gets fumbled up with his feet. Caught a little break right there.
Nobody was happier to see him drop that ball than Jason Williams, the linebacker.
I'll tell you what.
On 3rd and 8. Dump ball pass. And that ball comes loose. And picked up by the Panthers. Panthers get it right back on the turnover.
You know, there's always an adage on defense. Coach will always say, you bend, but you don't break. You get lucky on a receiver dropping the ball, and now all of a sudden you get a chance, you didn't break, and you got the ball back.
Anderson Russell on the recovery. 3rd-year man from Ohio State. Back after a word from your local Panthers. Bit of a turnover fest here in the first half. Bears with 2, the Panthers with 3. 7:43 remaining in Chicago on top, 10-7. They did take a look at it on replay while we were away. It was confirmed a fumble, so the Panthers back on offense from the 11. Anderson hands it off. And a nice pickup by Kenyon Barner, who will try to atone with a fumble on the last drive. Barner's not your typical rookie. He's actually 24 years of age, 5'9", 188 pounds, a first-team All-American last year. He ran for over 1,700 yards and 21 touchdowns at Oregon. And against Southern Cal, he had a school record 321 rushing yards. And he's a speedster, ran a 4.3840. Second and 5. And not a whole lot on that play as the sweet tweets keep on coming in. This one's long distance, Rugg. How about from New Zealand? I believe it's the afternoon there, watching the game from my laptop in New Zealand. Great way to spend a Saturday afternoon. Loving it. Hey, great to hear from you.
How about that? Technology.
Man, oh man.
That's a long ways away.
I've heard your personal Cume ratings in New Zealand are off the charts. You're huge over there. Third down and short. That one should have been picked off. Either somebody ran a bad route or the throw was way off the mark. Almost picked off by Sherrick McManus.
I think, Derek would like that one back. When he first got in the game, things were really clicking, but ever since he took that hit when he stood in the pocket, his time has just kind of been off a little bit.
Eric Weems back to receive the punt from Nordman. This one's a beauty. Might take a while. Finally comes down to 25. Weems banging his way to the 38-yard line. 57-yard punt, 13-yard return. One of the many sights here in Charlotte, the NASCAR Hall of Fame. Bears 10, Panthers.
Halftime show. Well, we've got a full analysis of this opening half of the first preseason game, and you know all about Cam Newton on the field. Wait till you see number 1 away from him. All coming up when we see you on the AT&T Halftime Show.
Okay, Pete, certainly looking forward to that. Cam Newton now with his 3rd year in the NFL, and I think Cam will tell you flat out the biggest one for him. Penalty flag drops as 93 Chase Blackburn comes storming in on what would be a sack if the play holds up.
Holding offense, number 78. That follows the Klein, brings up second down.
Number 93, I love the number, Chase Blackburn. He's going to come right up the middle. We call this a pressure blitz, and he just comes right off with his defensive lineman and gets the sack. That's a great job by Chase. He's one of those guys that they added from the Giants, and he's shown up big in this game already today.
That's an under-the-radar pickup. He was second on the Giants last year with 97 tackles, part of 2 Super Bowl teams. He's going to get some reps this year. Hit as he throws, pass incomplete by McCown. And to go back to Blackburn for a moment, Rugg, we know what we're getting with Kuechly. Davis, Beeson, I mean, injuries are always potentially there with those 2 guys, as good as they are. And so if one or both of them happen to go down, you need some other guys that can play that spot.
Absolutely. And he can play on the field, but he can also play in special teams. And he's going to give him a boost there if he's not starting. So he's versatile. They can use him in a lot of areas on this football team.
Yeah, plays all 3 linebacking spots as well. Very valuable. 3rd down and 18. Bears will play it conservatively. And the Panthers defense gets the job done. pass caught by Maneri. Dockery in on the stop for the Panthers. Will get the football back with under 6 minutes to go.
Defense did a great job of going 3 and out. Set up by these plays by pressure. A sack, getting pressure with an incomplete pass, and then making them just check it down.
Joe Adams back to receive the punt. Adams on the back pedal at the 6. And popped and dropped at the 17. We talked about Cam Newton. Let's hear from Cam. His recipe for success this year.
I think right now for us, or for me, is proving that I have to play playoff football. But at the same time, it's not looking at week 16 or week 17. It's looking at OTA or minicamp practice and how can I maximize my play to elevate not only myself but everybody around me to make them better.
You could just see him growing. Going into his 3rd year, usually that 3rd year is when the lights really just click and everything clicks and you get going. And he's really grown, and he said that he's really grown. He said he had some things to work on, and he's working on those things. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what he does this preseason and this year and starting fast.
This is Barner. Barner trying to find some room on the backside. Can't do it. Stopped after about a gain of a yard. Well, there is a new offensive coordinator, of course, for the Panthers this year. Chudzinski moving on to become the head coach of the Cleveland Browns. Mike Shula, longtime assistant coach in the NFL. There you see Mike with the glasses to your right. And Mike Shula along with Ken Dorsey, former quarterback at the University of Miami, played a few years in the NFL. So both those guys going to help now with the offense. And I think, we'll talk about this after this snap here, there might be a little bit of a difference from last year. Anderson running for his life. It's not really a big part of his game as he falls forward. Nate Collins stops him. It'll be 3rd and long, but it sounds to me, and you referenced it at the very top, Mike, it sounds to me like while it's nice that Cam Newton can run for a bunch of yards, they'd like to see a little less yardage from Cam running and a little more accuracy from Cam passing.
Well, he can throw the ball very well. He can run the ball very well, but you don't necessarily want your quarterback being your leading rusher. And I think that's where you've seen a change already in coordinators. And Shula is like, listen, if the play breaks down, you run great, but we don't want to feature you in our running game. That's why we got these stable of 4 or 5 backs to do that.
On 3rd and long. Caught. Shoestring catch by Barner. Barner might have himself a 1st down. Going to be close. I think he's got it. He does. He'll make Cam happy. Pickup of 9, move the chains. Panthers will keep it going.
I tell you what, Derek Anderson takes his time in the pocket. Pocket's collapsing, but he stayed calm. Found Barner right there. Nice catch down to Shoestring. That's a Shoestring catch. But he had the awareness to get upfield. No more dancing. It's time to get the 1st down.
When I look at Barner, he almost can serve the role of like a Mike Goodson did for many years here before moving on. You already know what DeAngelo Williams, Jonathan Stewart can do. Barner more of a change of pace back. Gets it again on 1st down. Gallops his way for about 3 more.
Barner on the carry, tripped up by Costanzo.
Nice block there by the 2nd-year man out of Midwestern State, Amini Silatolu, number 66. If he keeps progressing, along with Khalil and Gross, Byron Bell, you got yourself one of the better offensive lines in the NFL. 2-minute warning here from Charlotte, 10-7 our score. Subway presents Great Combinations. The Panthers linebacking core was among the best in the NFL last year as Luke Kuechly led the NFL with 164 tackles as a rookie. Thomas Davis returned from 3 knee surgeries, totaling 100 tackles. The crew will be better this year as veteran John Beeson returns. Beeson, Thomas Davis, Luke Kuechly, this week's Subway Great Combinations. Final 2 minutes of the first half, 10-7 our score. There you get a look at Thomas Davis, now in his 9th year at Georgia. And how about what he was able to do last season? 118 tackles for his career. He's got 551 4th all-time on the Panthers list. And, of course, the number you don't see there, the 3 knee surgeries. Not many players would be able to come back from that.
You know, we're not talking about a hangnail, a jam finger, or a sore toe. We're talking about 3 major knee surgeries back to back to back. And for him to come back and give you 100-plus tackles, that's remarkable. That's all heart.
2nd and 5 for Anderson. Over the middle, first down, Panthers. That throw was right on the money and caught by David Geddes for 19 yards. David Geddes was a guy a couple of years ago. They were really high on. Then he had the setback, the knee injury. Be good to see him come back.
He just drags across the middle, but he's got talent. He's a big, tall, wide receiver. Had a great rookie year, got hurt, has been struggling to get back, kind of got lost in the shuffle. He needs a big preseason to help his odds.
Anderson down the middle, incomplete. On first down, intended for Polaris. Oh, might have gotten tipped.
You know, when you look at David Geddes, he looks the part. I mean, he just hasn't gotten back to his rookie year. He hasn't gotten over that injury, and now he's kind of gotten lost in the shuffle as they're bringing in different wide receivers. So he needs to do big plays like that. Will help separate yourself and let the coaches see that you're standing out.
As big as he is, a big part of his game was his speed before the knee injury. There you see Geddes at the bottom of your screen. Anderson gonna go and connect at the 30. And there is David Geddes. So a couple of catches for the former Baylor Bear on this drive. 18 yards. Hurry up offense continues. Panthers have 2 timeouts in the back pocket as we're nearing the 1-minute mark of the first half. 4 in the pattern. Anderson gonna tuck it and slide. I wouldn't call that a run. He's not gonna get graceful points on that one. And a timeout call.
It's a little bit different kind of running. It's a different running style.
Yeah, try to put sugar on top of this one, Ruck.
It's a little bit different than number 1.
I would call this more of a collapse than a slide.
You can see everybody laughing. I mean, he's going to hear about that tomorrow, about his running style.
It's not exactly Cam Newton-like on that one. Wasn't exactly as smooth and coordinated as one Jerry West either, who actually made it to Panthers camp earlier. You see Jerry West, known Jerry Richardson for quite some time, had a chance to ride around the golf cart and say hello to some players. It's amazing. There are some players from the old school that transcend generations. Even the young guys today, they know the name and the logo, Jerry West. Four-man rush on second down. Over the middle, caught. First down and knocked down at the 5-yard line. That's the tight end, Brandon Williams. Coaches really like that young man out of Oregon.
You know, when you see him, he looks like a defensive lineman, but it's just a straight go route, get up in the seam and split that cover 2. And he did a great job of grabbing that ball.
Under 30 seconds to go. Anderson, corner, tried the back fade there and incomplete, wide of the mark intended for Ted Ginn. They will stop the clock, 23 seconds left. Panthers still have a timeout. And again, this is good work right here. It's one thing to do this in practice, but it's another thing to do it in an actual game scenario.
You know, coaches love this. Why? Because you can't simulate this in practice. So if you can get 2-minute drill, if you can get turnover, if you get more red zone goal line type plays, this is only going to help this offense get better and the defense and the team overall as the season comes.
2nd and goal. Handoff up the middle. Touchdown, Kenyon Barner, the rookie. 5 yards out. He fumbled it the first time he touched it. He's been solid gold since.
He might not be the biggest guy, but he goes right down the middle on a nice little draw play and uses his strength to get into it. That's a nice way to cap the second quarter in a 2-minute drive. That's also another way to get your confidence back earlier once you fumble the ball. He's done a nice job of regaining that.
This is the other kicker on the roster, Morgan Lineberry, battling Graham Gano for the spot. He knocks it through, and the Panthers are back on top with 18 seconds to play in the first half. There you see Ron Rivera, happy with the way things have gone the last couple of drives. He had a helper on Saturday, a new coach on the sidelines at the Panthers Fan Fest. That's 8-year-old Jack Bolton, who was signed for the day as an associate coach. He has spinal muscular atrophy, and the Panthers learned of Jack through the Make-A-Wish Foundation. He actually wrote the pregame speech. There you see it right there. And Ron Rivera read it. Hey, boy, he's got better penmanship than I do. Nice job, Jack Bolton. Panthers are awesome was the final line, and Ron Rivera reading that to the team, and obviously the players moved by that. It's always great to see when the teams can give back to the community. Make-A-Wish Foundation, a great program, and something I know you're very familiar with, Mike.
You know, and talking to Coach Rivera, he repeated that card almost word for word. And he actually still has the card. And when he was telling us that story, and then we seen the piece, I mean, it gives you the goosebumps, because that's a pretty neat thing. That's a big impact for the little guy, and to sign him for the day and let him be part of the team and the players. They all rallied around him, and so that was a pretty neat deal.
Kickoff will be returned by Ford, 8 yards deep. Penalty flag falls as he drops at the 23-yard line. Not as many flags as you would typically see in the first preseason game.
Personal foul, grabbing the face mask, kicking team, 15-yard penalty from the end of run, first down, Chicago.
And we look at our Belk scoring drive. A nice long drive, 11 plays, 82 yards, 4:21 off the clock, and that by on the rookie, 6th-round draft pick out of Oregon, Kenyon Barner, a 5-yard run to punch it in. It's got to do a world of good for his confidence.
Absolutely. He was featured a lot of plays in those 11 plays.
And the Bears will take a knee. That'll be the final play of half number 1. Don't forget, coming up at the half, Pete Yanity will take us through and have a feature on one Cam Newton off the field. What Cam has been doing the better part of this offseason. 14-10, your halftime score. Panthers on top of the Bears.
Carolina Panthers football is being brought to you by Subway. It's avocado season at participating Subway restaurants. Subway, eat fresh. By Miller Lite, it's not just a good time, it's Miller time. And by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit us at geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO.
Beautiful night here in Charlotte, North Carolina. The Panthers leading the Bears at the half by a score of 14-10. Mike Morgan alongside Mike Rucker. Entertaining first half, particularly for a first game of the preseason. Some sloppiness with the turnovers, but overall a lot to be excited about, particularly in the first half. Cam Newton looking sharp.
Well, I think they got Smitty involved early on, and then down here in the red zone, they're capitalizing on LaFell getting the touchdown. Cam, there's one that he would like to have back, this little drag pass that the Chicago Bears took back for its pick 6. But they came back with Derek Anderson and Barner and coming right up the middle, getting that touchdown. Overall, the offense did well. There's some good stats. The defense played well. There was 39 plays, and I think overall pretty good.
And that is our halftime stats. You see them there, brought to you by Bank of America. The number that sticks out, obviously the turnovers were a huge factor, but how about the total yards? The Panthers more than doubling up the Bears.
And that's what you're wanting. You're wanting to double up on these Bears. You got some offensive production. There was a couple turnovers, but in the red zone, you're 2 for 2, and that's the key thing that I look for, the red zone. 2 for 2, that means you're getting points coming out of this thing.
The Bears will have the football first in half number 2. A lot of the backups for both sides we'll see here in the second half. A lot of guys trying to make the roster. And, of course, as we've talked about, the young players in this draft class continuing to try and show what they can do. Panthers didn't have a lot of picks in the draft. Just 5, in fact. A good chance that all 5 could make this team. One unreturnable. The Bears will take it from the 20, and we'll get another look at that Panthers defense. Gano, one of the strongest legs in the NFL. That's not even close to being the issue. Accuracy, if he can just straighten it out on field goal attempts, Gano's got a very good chance of being the kicker this season. Remember, he was a mid-season pickup last year. Looks like we're going to see the third-string quarterback to start things off for the Bears. That's Matt Blanchard, number 4, under center. And the rookie running back out of LSU, Michael Ford, behind him. And he'll get it on first down. And pushes the pile forward for 2, maybe 3.
As coach, as defensive coordinator Sean McDermott, regardless if it's 1s, 2s, or 3s, or 4s, he wants the same play. You know, he wants the same play out of this defense. The defense has played well. He wants this group to continue to do better, and it doesn't matter if this is the first group or the third group.
And you saw Colin Cole in on that last tackle. Colin Cole, number 91, the former Seattle Seahawk. Second and 7. Blanchard hit from the backside. That's a loose football. And it is still on the ground. And finally recovered just inside the 1-yard line by the Bears. A couple guys had a shot at it. I think Mario Addison, number 97, pokes it loose.
Well, like we said, it doesn't matter what team you are. We want you to get after the quarterback. That is Coach Sean McDermott's thing. Coach William Eric Washington, the D-line coach, that's what he's preaching for his defensive linemen. Get after the ball.
That is a loss of 21 yards on the play, so it sets up a 3rd and 28.
That's a long play.
And now a timeout called.
Pay attention!
You could hear on some of our microphones there on the field somebody yelling, "Pay attention." The Panthers had to call a timeout, might have had the wrong personnel on the field. We'll clean it up when we come back. Defense looking pretty stout here the last couple of quarters. Sean McDermott happy about that. Now in his 3rd year as the defensive coordinator, he's finally getting to the point where he's got a little more weapons to work with on defense.
And knowing him, he's thinking about, we didn't get that ball.
On 3rd down, that'll give the Bears a little breathing room to punt the football as Wilson makes the catch. The rookie out of Washington State ran into some problems with head coach Mike Leach over there. That helped to drop him all the way down to the 7th round. Josh Norman on the coverage for the Panthers. Varner back to receive the punt. Tress Way, the rookie out of Oklahoma, the punter. Nice snap, almost blocked. Varner racing up to it at the 45. Right down at that spot. Panthers will have it 1st and 10 with 12:34 remaining, a 44-yard punt. Back after a word from your local Panthers. Well, one of the questions for the Panthers this year, who will be that number 3 wide receiver? You saw Armani Edwards getting into the act in the 2nd quarter, a couple of catches. Then we saw Ted Ginn, not just a return man. He wants to prove to everybody he can be a wideout as well. You saw Geddes, a couple of big catches on a drive for Carolina. And we'll take a look at Armani Edwards, and of course not pictured guy who's out tonight with injury is Dominic Hickson, the former New York Giant. That's another guy who certainly is in the running. Some might even say in the lead for that number 3 spot. But a lot of practices and a lot of game action to be played out here in the coming weeks. Barner is certainly getting plenty of touches here tonight. We saw a little bit of D'Angelo Williams. Jonathan Stewart is out with injury. So it's been the Kenyon Barner show for the most part at tailback, as you see the third quarterback for the Panthers, Jimmy Clausen, now in his 4th year from Notre Dame. Clausen delivers a strike right on target at the 40-yard line, caught by Polaris for the first down.
Now we got to throw him in the package. You know, we got the 3 other receivers, and now Polaris is throwing his hat into this mix, and a great catch, just a little outside route. But these guys are trying to show and trying to fight for number 3 and number 4.
Clausen from the 39. Barner sheds 1 tackler. Toughness right there. Pops off, picks up a couple.
Well, he might not be the biggest guy, but he runs big. You know, he gets popped, gets stood up, but keeps the legs going. That's like rule number 2 for a running back. You keep your feet going at all costs, and he picks up, takes a negative play, and makes it positive. There's Coach Skip that came back, was here with D'Angelo and Stu back in their heyday, and you brought Skip back, who is big on that sideline. He manages those guys, and he gets the running backs going.
This is the 8th carry of the night for Kenyon Barner. And he's now got over 30 yards on those 8 carries, and he picks up a first down here.
What I like about it, he's not fancy. He's just taking what they're giving him. It's just a downhill run. Makes a cut here, and it's all downhill. It's not side to side. All his movements are downhill for the first down.
Again, he's a guy, he's shifty, runs a sub 4.40. Barner is a guy that I think a lot of people were surprised slipped to the 6th round. And he drops it here, spoke too soon. That will be the 2nd fumble for Kenyon Barner. Recovered by the Bears. Might have been Bushrod. We'll double check that.
Chicago recovers.
But the 2nd fumble, and that will not make Ron Rivera or Mike Shula happy.
No, and especially when you're having a good night like this, you know, you have 1 fumble, but then the 2nd one, there was some penetration by the Bears defensive line, and it's unfortunate that he's lost 2.
Panthers turn it over, Bears football. We'll take another look at this fumble, which they are officially giving to Jimmy Clausen on the exchange. All right, Ruck, let's play the blame game here. Who's this one on?
Well, you can see, you know, usually it's a breadbasket, and that quarterback wants to put the ball right into the chest. And it looked like Kenyon was reaching for the ball. Now, I don't know if it was a fake or what, but it looks like Coach Rivera's talking to Jimmy, and it might have been maybe a little bit more on his side than the ball carrier.
Regardless, it's the 4th turnover of the night for the Panthers in a game which has featured 7 turnovers thus far. And you see the Panthers basically a gift to the Bears, 10 points off those turnovers for Chicago. The defense for the Panthers has played very well tonight, including when the starters were in for Chicago. He's got a look at Sione Fua, former Stanford Cardinal. This is Ford. Stacked up around the line. It'll be 3rd down and short. Colin Cole on the stop for Carolina. Quick snap on 3rd and short. And the Bears will have the first down. It's the fullback Harvey Unga toting the rock. Picks up 8.
As you start to get tired in these long drives, especially when it's 3rd and short, and that offensive line comes quick up to the ball, you have to be ready. You have to in your mind think like, hey, this is going to be a quick snap. And that's exactly what the Bears did. They caught the Panthers sleeping a little bit lazy up to the line, and got that first down.
Blanchard buying time and tiptoes out of bounds at the 49-yard line.
Yeah, great pass rush off the end, and then Fua coming up the middle. The pocket collapsed, and now you have to have guys rallying to the ball. And you see that the quarterback picks up some plays, but that defensive tackle's got to pick up his guy and help out his teammate who forced the quarterback out of the pocket.
Second down, quick slant, and the ball caught. Wilson on the grab. We haven't seen a whole lot of Star Lotulelei tonight. A first-round draft pick out of Utah. The guy we haven't spoken about is that man right there, 68. That's Kawan Short. He was the second-round pick out of Purdue, 6'3", 310 pounds. The 44th overall pick of the draft. They are very high on him as well. First team all Big Ten guy. A couple of guys to help beefing up that middle of the defensive line. This is 3rd and short. And burrowing ahead for the first down is Michael Ford.
Well, you talked about, Short and Star, big bodies inside, and down in training camp and talking to some of the linemen, the old linemen, they said these guys are strong and all they need is some game experience and they're going to be good. So obviously they're coming in as rookies, and when you have somebody like Khalil, who's a Pro Bowl center, saying, hey, these guys are strong and they're going to be good, that's a positive note.
On first down, throw is wide, picked off at the 45. Daylight ahead for Norman at the 20, 10, 5, touchdown Panthers. "55-yard return for the second-year man out of Coastal Carolina."
That was a nice job by Josh Norman, staying calm, reading the pass, reading the quarterback, and picking this off. Now he's finding a way to get in the end zone. I'll tell you what, he saw that quarterback in between him and the end zone, and he knew that if he was going to get tackled, it couldn't be by him.
He saw that sign, it says jump zone. Well, he obliged and jumped right up. A little Lambeau leap here at Bank of America Stadium. Extra point, knocked through by Gano. Officially, they'll give him 60 yards on the return. Why not? That is the 8th turnover of the game. Maybe the best defensive play of the night for the Panthers, who lead it 21-10. Mike Morgan alongside Mike Rucker here at Bank of America Stadium. Been a big night for that man, Josh Norman. A pick six, making it 21-10. Norman, a guy who really, coming out of the draft, Panthers thought they might have had themselves a steal. Learning the ropes last year, very difficult. He came from the FCS level at Coastal Carolina. But athletically, Mike, this guy certainly fits the part.
Well, he definitely has the ability. I think what kind of got him in the doghouse a little bit is the tackling. We know that he can cover and he's got that attitude, but it was the tackling that got him in the doghouse.
Shifty return here. And the Bears return man out to the 24-yard line. That's Michael Ford. Bud Light presents Around the League, the scoreboard. New England leading Philadelphia 31-10. 28-22. Miami up on Jacksonville 20-3. I'm very curious what they're going to get excited about this year in Jacksonville. Minnesota 13-10 over Houston. New Orleans and KC tied at 10 in the third. A couple of teams that we just saw on that list are going to be in very good shape for Jadeveon Clowney, with the #1 pick in the draft coming up. Now a timeout. Matt Blanchard not liking what he sees, and he'll take it with him. With 6:06 to play in the third. Panthers leading it 21-10.
Panthers build a 21-10 third quarter lead here at Bank of America Stadium. Pete Hannity back with you. Brandon LaFell, the Panthers' fourth-year wide receiver, had the night's first touchdown on. I'll tell you, if you look at that replay, especially from the back of the end zone, Cam read the field beautifully. You found a way to get open. You really showed that quite a bit last year when you had nearly 50 catches.
Yeah, that was the same play I scored on against the Cowboys last year. And we came out the huddle and I seen the cornerback go outside leverage on nose man coverage. I was just hoping the money do his job on the other side. They can't find me. It was going to be an easy touchdown.
You had your breakout season last year. How much more comfortable are you feeling as camp has progressed this year, now going into year number 4, even if, for example, you have a star quarterback taunting you from behind?
Man, I feel way more comfortable, man. It's our third year in this offense. Everybody's growing together, Cam's maturing together. I'm learning from one of the best in the game, soon to be Hall of Famer Steve Smith. We got another guy, Money Edwards, that's coming into his own, and everybody just complimenting each other. And we can just keep feeding off what we did tonight and what we have been doing in this training camp. We'll be all right this year.
So much of a wide receiver success is based on reading his own quarterback. Now a few seasons with Cam, that really has to have caught up for both of you. You probably know each other as well as any QB you've ever played with, and same for him from a wide receiver standpoint.
Man, definitely, man, because, this really is my first time when I had a quarterback more than 1 year. In college, I had 4 different quarterbacks. Now this me and Cam third year. We got together 2 weeks in Greensboro before camp got started. Got real familiar with each other. All the receivers came out, and you can really see it during training camp because we on the same page already. We clicking. Instead of waiting till the season get going and us to start clicking, we already clicking, so that's a good sign.
And you mentioned Steve Smith. I would think what a benefit to a guy like you, to Armani Edwards, the others, to have a guy who you can just tap so much information from and watch him by example at the same time.
Man, the guy is great, man. It's like I was drafted in the third round. I was mad I went so late, but at the end of the day, it's a blessing. To come to Carolina, to be in the position I am now, to learn from Smitty and the guys that we got around this team, man, it was a blessing.
Brandon, good luck in the season ahead.
Thank you.
Brandon LaFell, he is a guy that certainly became option number 2 in that passing game, at least from the wide receiver standpoint from Cam Newton. Looking forward to big 2013.
All right, nice job, Pete. And he talked about it, Brandon LaFell did, about Steve Smith and what he means to these younger receivers, and obviously what that kind of experience and leadership is invaluable. Touch on that in a moment. First third down and 9. Blanchard goes underneath, and that will be enough for a first down. As Unga has 12 yards and a first down. Mike Moore and Steve Smith.
Smitty has been around a long time, and he has an attitude. Over 11,000 yards. You see all these rankings on the left side, just 1, 1, 1, 1. And number 2, 430 points. Well, there's only one person. He might want to try to catch him, and that's probably John Casey with some more points than that. But I tell you what, with LaFell saying that he and Smitty and getting that knowledge, that is huge.
8-yard hookup. Caught by Aroma Shadu. Steve Smith, I mean, there's no question he's really in the face of this franchise now for a number of years. You wonder how many more years he can go. I mean, you talk to him, he sounds like he can play about another 5.
And when you talk about a guy that works hard at his craft, that is Steve Smith. When you look at practice, he's diving for balls. He's double-digit years that he's been playing, and he's diving for balls in practice and training camp. That is a dedicated guy to his craft.
Steve Smith recently turning 34 years of age. Steve Smith, never shy of opinions on anything. He's got some opinions on the young receiving corps.
You've seen guys push themselves and be pushed by competition. And I think, competition is healthy. Competition is good. When you have a lot of guys fighting for jobs, you start to see you start to see some guys do some things that maybe they wouldn't do when they were comfortable. So I think that's healthy.
I think it's very interesting when he's talking about the competition. You know, sometimes players don't want that competition because maybe they're the guy in front that everybody's going after. But he is right. It does bring the best out in everybody.
Third down and short, awfully close. That extra lunge might have gotten it. Nice job by Dockery on the tackle. But the nose of the football is far enough to move the chains.
Well, this game's all about inches. You know, it's just 1 yard and it comes close, but just an extra little push of the ball going out gets you the first down.
It's a terrific open field tackle by Dockery nonetheless. Special thanks to our producer Rob Reichley, by the way, providing Steve Smith with a hat before the interview. Steve was looking at it, was admiring it, asked if he could borrow it. Rob, being the generous man that he is, said sure. Delay a game penalty here. That'll back him up 5. And now maybe they might be saying they got the timeout in before. There's still a penalty flag on the field. There was that split-second debate. Was a timeout called before the clock hit 0?
The foul stands. Delay of game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
There's your verdict. As we check in with our Krispy Kreme sweet tweets. We've already had somebody from New Zealand. Where are we coming from here? First half MVP was the defense. Exciting to see. Sweet tweets. What do you think, Rod?
You know, right now I had to go with Josh Norman. I mean, he's made 2 big interceptions that the offense has gotten some points on. So I'd have to go with Norman right now.
This one caught. Modest gain. Marquise Wilson with his second catch. Melvin White, number 23 on the stop for Carolina.
You got to think, if you get 1 interception in a game, you go home happy. 2, you're excited.
Now, if Josh Norman can come around and really sprout his wings, so to speak, and this is second year, that would be huge. Right now, you've got Captain Munnerlyn and Drayton Florence penciled in as the 2 starters. You're seeing, of course, the backups now, including that man 31, James Dockery. Josh Norman, I would expect to be on a lot of nickel situations. Of course, nowadays, calling it a nickel is almost redundant because everybody's running 3-4 wide.
Yeah, you very seldom see the old days where it's just 2 tight ends and just pound them. They're spreading 3-4 wide. So, you know, when you talk about that 3rd, 4th corner, they play a big part in the defense.
Yeah, they're not necessarily backups anymore. 3rd down and 4. Blitz coming and sacked for a big loss on the play. Firing through was Jason Williams.
Just to the right of your screen, just coming in on the blitz, wide open. And if they're going to let you have it, you got to take it. And that was a big deal because now you're pushing the Chicago Bears out of field goal range, and now you make them punt. Huge blitz called up by the defensive coordinator, and the players executed it very well.
A loss of 8 on the sack is Way, the lefty. Does his job, punts it inside the 20. And fair caught at the 15-yard line by Barner. So another look at the Panthers offense. We talked about our Belk player watch at the top of the broadcast. It was Armani Edwards tonight, and he had a nice drive early on.
Well, he's got a lot to build on today. He's had a good camp. He's had a good preseason game, 2 big catches, very active. Tonight, 38 yards. Some good numbers to build on for next week.
Might be Jimmy Clausen's show the rest of the night. He's firing on first down, and the Bears bringing that one all the way. It's intended for Brandon Williams. You mentioned, Rod, Brandon Williams. I mean, he's built like a linebacker, 6'4", 250. Coaches are very high on him. Greg Olsen obviously is going to be the man at tight end, but maybe there's a spot for number 86.
Well, you know, the way he looks, he can play on the defensive line too. But he had a great catch right up the middle early on. And I think he's turning some heads with his size and ability. Obviously, he needs to be able to block, but you got to catch the ball too.
Second down. And running it straight up the gut for about 4. That'll be the final play of quarter number 3. Armand Smith on the carry. And we head to quarter number 4. Panthers 21, Bears 10. We'll see if Carolina can keep the points coming when we come back. 15 minutes left to play. If you think things can't change in 15 minutes, check out Geico after the game. And as little as 15 minutes, you could save 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. That's 1-800-947-AUTO. As we get ready for the final 15 minutes of this one in Charlotte, Carolina 21, Chicago 10. More Krispy Kreme sweet tweets coming at you from Josh. Brandon Williams for first half MVP. His story is amazing. We're going to have more on that story in just a moment. As make sure we got word on the penalty.
Defense, number 79. 5-yard penalty.
On Chicago,
Still
5
down.
yards for the Panthers, and more on Brandon Williams from Pete Yanity.
What a story it is, Mike. He arrived at Oregon ready to play tight end, but he was later diagnosed with a back issue that actually was related to his spine. So he moves up to Portland, played at a basketball at a small college there, and also was training to become a policeman. He eventually was discovered at a gym by former NFL defensive lineman Sam Adams. That led to a regional combine appearance in Denver by Williams. Then he was invited to a super regional combine in Texas. That's where the Panthers discovered him. He is built as well as any player you will ever see. And so here he is, a guy who had very limited college football experience, but trying to break in a very deep tight end corps with the Panthers. And his story to this point really has been something with this Carolina club.
Yeah, pretty hard to top that story for sure. And Brandon Williams had a big catch earlier in this game. You just see him walking off the field. He's an absolute physical specimen.
Well, what that tells me through all of that, his story, is that he's dedicated and he wants to be here. And can't imagine him walking up to my car giving me a ticket.
False start. Offense, number 37. 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
Panthers earlier, this was the big catch from Williams, which wound up leading to a Panthers touchdown tonight. I get the feeling we're going to see more of him. I mean, you know what Greg Olsen can do. These are basically just warm-up reps for him, but I think they really want to get a look at what Brandon Williams is all about in game action. Probably see a lot more of him in Philadelphia as well, which will be our next broadcast next Thursday. This is Lenz, return man out of Iowa State. 48-yard punt. The Bears will take over. As we take a look through 3 quarters, our Bank of America stats. Pretty good overall performance. Obviously, the 4 turnovers troublesome. Not too surprising in the first preseason games, but the Panthers have forced 4 turnovers. They have 4 sacks on the night. The Panthers defense very salty today, very encouraging if you're watching this ball game. Not just the starters, but the backups as well.
I think these are some stats to build on. Obviously, the turnovers, that'll be something that coach will address. But there's a lot of good stuff that happened tonight. A lot of guys stepping up in their play. So there's a lot of positive to take from tonight.
Look out. That's sack number 5. That's Craig Rowe, a rookie out of Michigan.
He's all the way on the right over here. You get a look at him, he's just going to beat his guy. And, they work on pass rush. 2 guys miss him, he gets the sack. This defensive line, regardless if it's the first or second or third team, they are aggressive in getting to the quarterback. Sack number 5.
5 sacks tonight. And the starters were in there. Hardy and Johnson looking good per usual. This pass caught at the 45 and an alley down the sideline, inside the 10, diving toward the end zone and stepping out of bounds at the 4. That's Wilson showing off some of his speed and nearly taking it to the house. Give him 58 yards.
You haven't seen a whole lot of big plays tonight, but the offensive line gives the quarterback time to throw, and it's just a man-to-man, and guys get mixed up in the crossing route, and he just gets to the sideline, and there's no one in between him and the end zone but the sideline. And that'll happen sometimes when guys get knocked off on crossing routes.
And then banging his way into the end zone for the touchdown, the rookie from LSU, Michael Ford. Well, the big pass play sets up the short run, and the Bears have a chance to cut the lead to 4.
But sometimes you won once you get to the fourth quarter. You know, fatigue starts setting in, and you got to stay sharp. You know, even though it's in the fourth quarter, you're still battling. You got to stay sharp.
How many reps did Mike Rucker get in the fourth quarter of a preseason game?
Well, I tell you what, my rookie year, I was like Barner. I was out there from start to finish, and they had to carry me off the field. The coaches really wanted to see what they had in me, and I tell you what, we played all 4 quarters, and I was wore out. It was down in Jacksonville, too.
Another look at the touchdown. Knocked through, make it a 4-point game. 12:53 to play. Panthers still on top. Offense back on the field when we return. This is Cam Newton earlier in the ball game having some fun, ribbing his teammates a little bit. Oh my goodness! Look at the shoes Cam's sporting tonight.
Very colorful.
Which is a good way to describe Cam.
Well, the neat thing is he's having fun. This game, since you've been playing it since you were young, was always fun. Now you're getting paid to do it. It's a business, but you still got to have fun, and he's doing a great job of that.
And again, we hit it at the top, and I think it's going to be a storyline, not just throughout the preseason, but the regular season. Cam Newton, the leader. Cam Newton, the guy that, through wins and tough losses, brings this team together. And Cam Newton's been very outspoken about it himself. He says he needs to do a better job of that. He plans on doing a better job of that. Back after a word. Panthers on top of the Bears, 21-17. Game number 1 of this 2013 preseason as we look at our belt scoring drive. Short one, 3 plays, 58 yards, capped off by the Ford 4-yard touchdown run. Mike Morgan, Mike Rucker, Pete Yannity with you here at Bank of America Stadium. Fans still in attendance, having a good time tonight. I think everybody just relieved that football season is here. What do we say? The top 200 and some odd days? 250? Too many. Armon Smith, strong run, 11 yards and a first down.
I think we haven't talked a whole lot about the Panthers' offensive line tonight, but they're doing a great job on moving these defensive linemen and giving their running backs the room to run. And again, I can't stress enough, the running backs are going downhill. There's no dancing. They're getting positive yards.
Tough yards squeezed out there by Smith. As we go around the league, our scoreboard brought to you by Bud Light. Detroit leading the Jets right now. New England over Philadelphia. There's a quarterback race going on in Philly. Mike Vick's part of it. Miami up on Jacksonville. Arizona in Green Bay. Quarterback changes in Arizona. A lot of quarterback changes this year throughout the NFL. Clausen still playing QB here and puts that one right on the money. Caught by Geddes. Third grab of the game for David Geddes. 19 yards and a first down.
Yeah, Jimmy Clausen taking his time in the pocket. Offensive line just makes a wall for him. He just hammers it down the middle to David Geddes. Again, he's showing up tonight, grabbing the opportunities. When the ball's thrown to him, he's snagging them and bringing them down.
3 catches, 56 yards now for Geddes. Clausen cocks and fires, and that one in the vicinity of Geddes, but he was blanketed on the play.
Number 30, De'Mondre Hurst on the coverage.
Hurst on the coverage for Chicago.
I think this is the first time in a while where we've had, you know, the receiving core from start to finish, from A to Z, really doing well in the evening. And right now, if you had to judge on this, it's going to be really tough for Ricky Proehl, Mike Shula, Coach Rivera to pick number 3, number 4, number 5.
They've all gotten in on the action tonight. We saw Armani catch a couple of balls. Ted Ginn was an intended target a couple of times.
There's Ricky Proehl right there.
Ricky Proehl was one of those guys where every time you looked up, you said, is he still in the league?
You know, he was such a technician. He wasn't the fastest guy, but if there was a zone, he would stop in the zone. There's no sense of keep continuing. He would stop in the hole. He's really particular about, hey, if the route says 7, cut it off at 7, not 8, not 7.5. And I think that's where he's really good for these young guys.
3 wide set here on 3rd and 6. Make it 4. Clausen buys time, fires, caught. First down. That's Brenton Burson out of Wofford, nearby Spartanburg.
You know, Jimmy Clausen and the offensive line did a great job. The offensive line picked up the Chicago Bears blitz very well, and then Jimmy Clausen saw the opening, rolled out, stayed composed, and fired it downfield.
Great job by Armand Smith with the block there to give Clausen that extra time. Pretty good looking drive right here. 1st and 10 from the 25. Under 10 minutes to play here from Charlotte. Panthers up 4, and now Clausen has to burn a timeout. And we will join him back with more from Bank of America Stadium in a moment. 21-17 our score here in the 4th quarter with 9:12 to play. The sweet tweets keep coming in on the Krispy Kreme tweet line from Halloween H2O. Do you think Ted Ginn and Kenyon Barner can help the offense? I'll throw that your way.
Absolutely. You know, Ted Ginn with his speed, just defensive guys are going to be scared of his speed, that they don't want him behind him. Whether he catches the ball or not, or if the team throws him, he'll dedicate, and those guys will have to find him. And Barner's already shown he could be a weapon tonight, whether it's running or catching the ball out of the backfield. He just has to hold on to that ball.
Now the sloppiness ensues.
False start, offense, number 73. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
That's on Bruce Campbell, 4th-year man out of Maryland. You know, guy we haven't talked about so far tonight, 4th-round draft pick. He's not available tonight. He's been banged up, but Edmund Kubala, rookie out of Valdosta State. They like what they see out of him thus far.
You know, he's a big body, and I think that's what they want. He's kind of been nicked up, but they're really itching to get him into the lineup and get him some work.
Not much doing there. Great pursuit by the left side of that Bears defensive line, and Armand Smith really had no chance. Mentioned Kubalov, 4th-round draft pick, Valdosta State, big body, 6'4", 317. He actually was a lot bigger. He was about 400 pounds at one point. Born in Ghana, moved to the U.S. at age 10. And a young man, you know, Valdosta State, one of those Division II schools, it turns out a lot of players that make their way on an NFL roster. Clausen. Conservative pass play there to Smith. It'll be 3rd and long. Of course, last year the Panthers took Silatolu out of Midwestern State. He's projected to be a starter at left guard.
You can kind of see the trend. We've always said, coaches always said, the offense and defensive line is the foundation of a football team. And you can see the big bodies that are being brought in here to sew those two lines up. And both lines have done very well tonight.
On 3rd and 17, Clausen looks to fire. Scrambling again. And throws it away. Nobody open, and not a whole lot of time to throw it either for Jimmy Clausen. Graham Gano would love nothing more than to flex his leg here, and I think he's going to get a crack at it. Distance will not be a problem for 50 for this man. Career long of 59. And hitting them in practice at distances well above 60. Kick on the way. That is perfect. That'll go a long way for Gano, making this team as the kicker, battling the rookie Morgan Lineberry. The Panthers tack on 3 more, 24-17 from 50. Gano splits the uprights. Here's our 4th drive of the ball game tonight. It came in the first half, as you see Derek Anderson orchestrating the drive, hitting several targets. There's the big catch by Williams. That sets up the short run by the rookie, the 6th-round draft choice out of Oregon, Kenyon Barner. Panthers also getting a pick-6 tonight by Josh Norman. So 1 defensive touchdown, 2 offensive touchdowns, and you just saw the field go by Gano to make it 24-17. Gano sails that one out of play. More sweet tweets. Awesome job, Josh Norman. 2 picks tonight. Josh Norman, the defensive MVP, as is brought up by one Nate Morris. And speaking of Josh, Pete standing by with the young defensive back.
That's right. What a night it's been for this guy, 2nd-year Panther out of Coastal Carolina. The first interception set up a touchdown. The second one, you look like your days as a high school wide receiver return man, taking it to the house. I mean, boy, this is some kind of game.
Yeah, I'm very blessed and fortunate enough to come out here and play this game of football that we love, and just coming back and getting better, working in practice and coming out today.
You've heard it throughout your football career. You play in a game the way you practice. Well, earlier this week, there was one practice where you had an interception, almost had another. It's almost as if tonight was inevitable.
Yeah, just working hard. Them guys out there from us, like Smitty and the rest of the receivers, they be giving us work. So we got to step our game up every day. It's, it's hard practice and trying to relate and carry over practice to the games. And, for me last year, it was like a little struggle there. And then now this year, I feel like I'm a bit better and calmed down and settled, ready to take that next step.
Last year you came in, you started 12 out of 16 games as a rookie. You had 74 tackles. I think you'd probably be the first one to say, though, from the pass coverage standpoint, maybe that was an adjustment that you needed to continue to make into this year.
Yeah, it was. It was a step that I needed to take, going forward. I worked with Coach Wilkes, my defensive back coach, and I got better at understanding the defense and where my leverage was at and where my help was at. And I think that was a big thing for me, just coming in and learning that and transition that over into the off season. And I got better at that, and I got better at my drives, and I settled myself down into the defense more. And, just try to make plays.
I'll tell you what, Jay Cutler's not going to want to see you anymore. You picked him off last season up there. Tonight, your first interception came against him. Great job, Josh Norman.
Thanks, man. Thanks. I appreciate you guys having me on in the NFL. Thanks.
He's a Panther, and now in his 2nd year, he is a Carolina football player through and through. He started in high school at Greenwood, then went to Coastal, and now here he is with the Panthers.
Okay, nice stuff, Josh Norman.
That's fine.
I like that. Not the least bit bashful, very philosophical in the assessment of how he has improved from year 1 to year 2.
Well, I think the biggest thing that he said was him going up against Steve Smith every day in practice. That made him better. And when you're able to go against one of the top-notch receivers in the NFL, that's good.
Bears drive stalls on the incomplete pass. Incidentally, while we were talking to Josh Norman, Ezekwu picking up the 6th sack of the night for the Panthers. As you look at Steve Smith, his night is done, but he's still out there talking, making sure everybody's focused, doing what they need to do.
And when you really look at Steve Smith's attitude and Josh Norman's attitude, they're fireballs. You know, they keep the energy going in practice, and they make each other better.
Way on the punt. This will be a short punt. And it goes out of bounds around the 30. 5:34 to play. Panthers leading it by a touchdown, 24-17 our score. If you're joining us late, Cam Newton started things off as you would expect, had 12 snaps, led a touchdown drive, and then later on Derek Anderson. You saw the drive, really the drive of the game for the Panthers tonight. Josh Norman's been the story defensively with those 2 picks, including a pick 6. Jimmy Clausen will carry the torch the rest of the way for the Panthers at quarterback. Several receivers getting in the act tonight, starting with Steve Smith, Brandon LaFell, both starters with receptions. And all those guys we spoke about battling for that number 3 spot, with the exception, of course, of Hickson, who's out with the injury. Every one of them was heavily involved in the offense. As we go around the league, more the Bud Light scoreboard. Got some finals now. Detroit a winner. So too was New England. We'll see those Philadelphia Eagles next Thursday night in Philadelphia. Arizona blanking Green Bay. Houston, a lot of people think Houston's the team to beat in the AFC South this year. Dallas and Oakland tied at 3. Oakland, another team with a quarterback battle going on. Could it be Terrell Pryor this year? Torrin Poole, former Tennessee Volunteer, on the carry. It's always nice when you can start analyzing your team and you're one of those teams in the NFL where you have no quarterback issues at all. Yeah, all these teams that have the battles going on in the preseason, it's fun to talk about, but you don't want to be in that spot.
No, you don't. And that's good that the quarterback situation here is stable, and they're able to move forward and trying to get better than they did last year.
3rd down and 4. Clausen, nice pocket. Now thinking about tucking it and run. Clausen showing some wheels and dives for the marker. I think he's got it. Cam Newton saying, hey, how about that?
They're going to have a lot to talk about in the run game tomorrow in film. Each quarterback's got an opportunity to break the pocket and take off running. Jimmy Clausen showing that he's got a little bit better wheels than maybe Derek Anderson, and Cam really likes that. You know, again, we talk about him being colorful and animated. He likes that first down.
Straight ahead running on 1st down. More of Torrin Poole. Next week, again Thursday night, 7:30. Panthers and the Eagles. These 2 teams tonight, Panthers and the Bears, met last year in October at Soldier Field. It's a tough loss. Chicago trailing late in the game. Robbie Gould hit a 41-yard field goal as time expired to win it 23-22. One other significant footnote about the Bears and the Panthers: the first ever game at Bank of America Stadium. Remember the first year, of course, they played in Death Valley. First ever game was a preseason game right here, and the Bears were the opponent.
Well, I tell you what, I mean, they've historically have had good defenses, and so from the offensive standpoint for the Panthers, there's a good defense to kind of measure yourself up against, to have some snaps against.
That Bears defense last year had 9 touchdowns. You want to talk about a difference in a number, turnover margin between the two teams. The Bears were plus 20, the Panthers were plus 1. Nice to see the Panthers can improve that mark. It's post time.
Well, that's the beauty about the preseason. You know, you get a little work and then you can really just kind of calm down knowing that it's a preseason game and you're seeing guys having fun. And, you're in front of your family and your home crowd.
This is 3rd down and 4. Bears dial up the blitz. Quick pass and almost picked off. And that might have been a pick 6 if it was handled. Thankfully, it was not by Brandon Harden.
Well, the Bears did a switcheroo at the last second and moving their safeties and switching inside of the strength of their defense. And they almost came up with, like you said, a pick 6. Luckily, once again, they dropped the ball.
Back to receive the punt from Jordan Gay. And it'll roll out of bounds with 3:10 to play. We talked about that linebacking core earlier with Thomas Davis, the great bounce back year he had, of course, Luke Kuechly. This is going to be a big year, Rugg, for John Beeson. I think everybody wants to know, for a guy that's basically been out of action now for the last couple of years, what are we going to see out of John Beeson in 2013?
Well, you know he can play the position. You know he can play the game. The last couple of years have been tough on him injury-wise. It's a big plus if they can get him back, you know, a guy like his talent. But if he's not back, they got the linebackers. They brought some linebackers in here that can really help them out and succeed until he can get back.
Flair pass out to the far side and a first down for Chicago and Michael Ford. I mean, that's really what made Luke Kuechly so valuable last year. You expected Beeson to be in the middle. Kuechly, after the injury, has to move to the middle, take over, and all he does is lead the league in tackles. But if you could somehow get Beeson on the field at outside linebacker, it would do so much for the overall speed and ability of this defense.
Well, part of the thing about preseason is when you're trying to make decisions between who do we keep and who do we let go, it's a versatility. Who brings more to the table? When you got a guy that plays multiple positions, that's going to help your team out.
Going to be a holding penalty. He's going to bring this play back.
Offense, number 67, 10-yard penalty, still first down.
You see right there the hold, little face mask right there, trying to get his quarterback some time. That didn't fool the ref though.
Ezekwu being held. He already has a sack tonight. They would have had another one there. Blanchard goes underneath. Pick up a few. It'll be second down and long, and that'll likely be the final play before the 2-minute warning. Trying to rush to the line. I don't think so. No. 2-minute warning. Bears have a chance. Try and send this one into overtime. We'll see if the Panthers defense can stop them when we return. Time now for our Subway foot-long play of the game. And while there were many good plays offensively, Josh Norman leading the way defensively. His second pick of the night takes this one the distance, 60 yards. And the Panthers have led since. because of that play and the rest of his night. 2 picks. He is our keep pounding player of the game this season. The Panthers continue to honor former linebacker and Hall of Honor member Sam Mills. So here's our keep pounding player of the game, Josh Norman. Congratulations to number 24. I have a feeling that's not the last time we're going to call his name in this preseason.
Well, you know, he's like he said when he was talking that he's continuing to get better from his rookie year, and he's learning and he's getting better and he's working and trying to take practice and take it to the game. You see the keep pounding drum, and you mentioned, you know, Sam Mills. You know, he's been so much to this organization, and you know, being able to be around him when he was a coach, you know, as he was dealing with cancer, and we had Mark Fields that was dealing with cancer, and you know, it was just everybody coming together and bonding and playing for each other. And you know, he gave us a big speech, and it's something that has just stayed with us, and it just translates to keep pounding, never give up.
Panthers defense certainly not going to give up here. 2 minutes left in the game. It's a 1-possession game as the Bears trying to march down the field here in a hurry-up situation. Chicago does have 1 timeout left. Third down. Blanchard slides in at the 40. That'll be a first down. Blanchard, one of those small school guys out of Wisconsin Whitewater. I'm guessing he would be the first guy from that alma mater to make it to the NFL. And that's probably what he did a lot of at Wisconsin Whitewater. I'm guessing because I never saw him play there, but I'm sure he was very agile at that level.
He's got some feet, and he's not shy about running the ball.
Swing pass. Look at that hit. I felt that one up here in the booth. That's the rookie Melvin White, undrafted out of Louisiana Lafayette.
You know, part of being a corner, you're out there on the island, and you got to come and bring the big fella down. And he did, you know, Mr. White did a great job of bringing him down.
This telecast is copyrighted by the National Football League and the Carolina Panthers for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or any of our pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the consent of the NFL and the Panthers is prohibited. Final look at the Bud Light scoreboard. Finals keep coming in. Detroit, a winner over the Jets. Next team we'll see, Philadelphia. They'll be 0-1 when we see them. Miami up on Jacksonville, 27-3. That's a final. Arizona blanks Green Bay. I'm getting the feeling we're going to be the nightcap, Rob. All these other ones are finals.
Save the best for last.
Oh, wait a minute. One in New Orleans is still going on. Of course, on the West Coast, yeah, Oakland's still going on. We're the nightcap for the East Coast. Wouldn't have it any other way. Penalty flag on the field. It's all the way back to the Chicago
Holding.
40.
Offense, number 76. 10-yard penalty. Still second down.
As we near 11 o'clock Eastern time, the Panthers looking to be in good shape to start off this preseason 1-0. Pressure from behind, and he is sacked again. How many sacks for the Panthers tonight? Unofficially 7.
Yeah, the secondary did a good job of letting their defensive front get up there and bring the quarterback down.
3rd and 19. Little dump off pass. And a nice job getting out of bounds by Ford. 15 seconds left. No timeouts left for the Bears. you don't have a whole lot of options here. At some point, Blanchard's probably going to have to chuck it deep.
Yeah, he's going to probably chuck it deep, and the secondary's got to know that. So you got to try to keep everybody in front of you. Don't let anybody slide behind you and get that deep ball.
There's Mark Trestman, 17 years of NFL experience, 8 as a coordinator, and led the Montreal Alouettes to back-to-back Grey Cup titles. Coach for the Chicago Bears. Here's your ball game right here. 4th down. And he's going to... Did they rule him out? Did he get out of bounds? Doesn't matter. Not enough anyway. Short. That's your ball game. 6 seconds left. Panthers will get victory formation and start off the year 1-0. Good performance overall. Defense very stout tonight. First team offense looked good. Some of those wide receivers we were curious about playing well. And again, we'll get a chance to see all these guys back again next Thursday night, 7:30. More Cam Newton. I'd love to see if this defense can do it 2 weeks in a row. That'd be a great sign. Lawson takes a knee. Your final score, the Panthers 24 and the Bears 17.
Carolina Panthers football is being brought to you by Pepsi. Born here, raised by Panthers fans everywhere. Panthers checking, only from Bank of America. By Bojangles, your official tailgating headquarters of the Carolina Panthers. It's Bo time. By Sacrete. No matter what projects are in your lineup, Sacrete has the right concrete and masonry products for the job. Use what the pros use. Ask for Sacrete at your local home improvement store. By Miller Lite. It's not just a good time, it's Miller.